locating elements on web page. What it means, suppose if you have written, let's say I'm just trying to write here, let's say google.com, simple, google.com, save it and then run it. So our use case is that we should open Google, and then here I'll search, let's say Selenium dev, and then I should click on the link, right? So suppose I'll write here Selenium dev and click enter, then click on the link, right? Now this is the use case that we need to perform. Okay, we can search something, but whatever first link will come, I will click on it. Now the thing is, we want to tell browser or tell Java or Selenium to search here a text box. Okay, to search here text box. Since complete browser we can automate, even I can write Selenium dev here also, right? Selenium dev, but that is not the right place, right? We have to locate the particular element. And what is element? So whenever we have this web page, whatever thing you see here, right, whatever thing you see, that is in form of web element. That is basically element, and then we say that is a web element, since this is a web page. Now here web element is this one, right, Google. So here I'm not able to click, right, although this is also a web element, but this is a static web element, so we will not worry about that. The thing is, we have to search about dynamic web element. For example, this one, text box. We have this mic, right? We have button. These all links. We have about link, advertising, business. These sign in, right? These all are web elements, right? So suppose if I have to, so if I want to search something, so I have to first locate this element, and then we have to write something on that. So that is the meaning of locating web element here, right? So now we can see next is what all web elements we have. So suppose any web page, it doesn't matter whether you are using Java or .NET or any language, right? We have web element or web page created through HTML only. Other thing will converted into HTML only. So in HTML we have body HTML tag, then body, form, label, input, right? So here in this HTML there are different type of web elements such as HTML, body, form, label, input. Here in input tag, if you will see input tag, we have two things, type and then name. So these type and name are attributes of web element, and values are text and then name. So we have to remember, right? The complete line input is basically a tag, HTML tag, and for this input tag we have two attributes here, type and then name. In the form tag we have only one attribute, that is ID, and attribute value is login form. This is very basic thing. Now now we can see the next, that locating web element. So suppose if you want to locate any web element, so you have to first find the particular element, right? And to find element, we have method available which is called find element, and then using find element by and web element, we can find any element from the browser. So let's see about that, and then we'll come back to this one. So now suppose here we are saying driver that okay, open google.com and then search input box. So how we can search that input box? So what we will do, we can right click on inspect, okay, and then you will see this HTML. So it may be in your browser, it will open here, or click here to open completely in a new window, right? It's up to you. And if you will click again this one, so you will see this one. Now here we have select element, click on it, and then what kind of element you are looking for. So you are looking for this input box, right? So it will automatically select that. Or if you want to click on some link, right? So here we have this these all links are there. So suppose I'm looking for this link, this input box. I'll just click on it. Now this input box is selected. Okay. From here, we have to, so this is the tag, this is the input box which created this one. That means whenever I'll write anything, I am actually writing on this one. So to locate any web element, we have to first see few things, right? So locate any element, we can use find element, yes, but we have by, right? How we can locate any element? So we have some mechanism to locate any element. So here it is saying there are 8 ways to identify an HTML element on web page. So they can be located by name, ID, tag name, class name, link text, partial link text, XPath, and CSS. So these 8 ways we can use to locate any element, right? So now remembering these things, name, ID, tag name, and all. So first we can see whether ID is available or not. Okay. If ID is available, then that means ID will be unique throughout the HTML page. So for this input box, I will first search whether ID attribute is available here or not. Okay. So let's see. Input max length, right? ID is not available. Okay. Then I'll go for the next one, that is name. So name is available or not. So class JXN max length, name is equal to Q, right? So name attribute is available. So I will go for the name. So how I'll do? In next line, I will write driver dot find element. So I will use right now find element, and here I have to write by. So you can see whenever I'm writing by, it is showing these all options, right? Using which method you want to locate, using class name, CSS, ID, link text, name, partial, tag, right? So I'll go for the name, and here you have to pass the value, attribute value, and you can see right now attribute is name, value is Q. So I will write here Q. Okay. So now if you will see, this find element is returning web element. So what I'll do, I will write here web element. I can name anything. I'm writing EL. So now import it. Right. So web element EL equal to driver.find element this. Now I located this element. Then what we have to do, so once you are able to find this text box, right, throughout these complete HTML code, right, you are now able to locate, okay, this is the input box. Then you will write something here, right? And since this web element is writable, so I'll write here using send keys. And inside send keys, I'll write anything. Let's say I'm writing here Selenium dev, and then this one. What will happen after that? If you will run it, it will open Google browser, it will find text box, and then it will write here. You can see Selenium dev is automatically written here, right? Now after that, what we do, we click enter, right? So to click enter, what we will do, we'll click here EL dot submit. So let's see. Since we are clicking on that text box only, that's why we are using submit. Right? You can see. After writing it, we have just clicked submit, and then we are getting this value, right? So this Selenium dev is now searched, and we see their list of results, right? From this list of results, what next we wanted to do? We want to click on it, right? So to click on it, what we will do, again, we will do the same thing, right? So I'm closing this one. And then let's open the same window, right? So now here I have written Selenium dev and enter, right? After that, what we will do, we will click on this arrow, go to this Selenium, and here I can see H3 equal to this one, So H3 is not clickable actually. So what we do, we have anchor tag. So once we will click on anchor tag, then it will actually click. So inside anchor, this is happening. So basically we have to locate this anchor tag. So now again, we have to go to this one and see. We have name, ID, tag name, class name, right? So let's go and see. Do we have name? No, we don't have name. Do we have ID? No, we don't have ID. Then what we can do? We don't have name, we don't have ID, then we'll proceed further, right? And we'll see tag name. So yes, tag name is there. So tag name in this case, what is, we have A, right? A is anchor tag. So it may possible, so we can use anchor tag also, but if you will see in this page, we have lots of anchor tag, right? Before that also you will see more anchor tags. So if you have the page and in that page you have only few links, in that case you can go for the tag name. Else what we have a class name link text, right? So we can use link text also. So what link text will do, it will search the exact syntax Selenium and then it will click on that, right? So it will go for the link text. So let's say if I use link text, so here I will write next is driver dot find element by, and here I'll say by dot link text. Okay, and in this link text I am saying that I want to click on Selenium, right? So Selenium is Selenium, right? Dot click. I'll click on it. Let's see whether it is working or not. So since link text will match the exact link, exact syntax. Yes, it's working, but actually it is clicking on the, another different Selenium. Why it happened? So actually it came here and then it clicked on the, okay, I'm not sure which one it clicked, right? But you can very well see this one, right? We will discuss this one again, that it will see exactly same thing, right? If it is matching, then it will click on that. Another thing is here we have partial link text. Partial link text means you don't want to give the complete sentence, but you want to give only few sentences. So the better option is either you can go for Xpath or CSS, right? So you can go for, if you want to get the exact location, exact element, right? Then what you can do, you can go for the Xpath or CSS. So now how you can get the Xpath? You can right click on the HTML code, click on copy, and then you have these options. So one is you can copy Xpath, another one is you can copy selector. These two things we can use. Let me copy Xpath. Go to the project, and then here I'll do, instead of writing this thing, let me write it again. So we have by, and what I'll do, by dot Xpath. In this Xpath, I will paste that, and then dot click. Let's see now it is clicking on that particular element or not. Yes, you can see Selenium dev is now opening properly. That means the XPath located properly, right? XPath is working fine. I'm just commenting it, and then let's see through the another option that we have, that is driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. We will use CSS selector and then dot click dot what happens, CSS selector. CSS selector dot here dot click. So now let's extract the CSS selector. So what I'll do, I will right click here, copy, and then click on the copy selector and then paste it inside. Okay, so now you can see CSS selector is, this is also too long, right? It's not easy to, remember, and even this is not looking good, right? But it will work. You can see it is working fine. So since we can see now that we have two, accurate way to figure out the particular element, that is one is XPath and another one is CSS selector. So what we will do, we can use these two things, right? If we don't have ID and name, then we can go for CSS XPath and CSS selector. Now, this particular XPath or CSS is not good. So what we have plugins. We have some plugins, and that plugin will help us to identify correct XPath and CSS. So what we do, we write here, what we say, Chrome Store, right? We can click on Chrome Store, go here and Chrome Web Store, and here we can search XPath, right? XPath, click enter, and then let's say XPath CSS. Search XPath and CSS, and yes, and then open this one, XPath CSS Explorer, right? And then you can add it. Since you can see it is saying remove from Chrome, that means this is already added in my system. Usually what happens, whenever you will see, let's say this one, you can click on add to Chrome, right? And that's it. It will be installed. So in this case, this XPath CSS selector is already available in my system, right? So what we have to do next is we can use this XPath CSS selector. So for that, I'll just come back to this one. Here we have this element. What we have to do is, you can see these all things, right? Showing here, or let me just move it down. Yeah. So we have this particular web element anchor tag. I'm just trying to, okay, so since we are inside Chrome is being controlled, so I have to open the normal browser, normal Chrome, and let's write here google.com, and then I'm searching here Selenium dev, and then right click, inspect element. Yes, now we are here in this anchor tag. What we have to do, go to this one, right? Style, compute, layout, these things you will see, and then you have this button, right? Click on it, and then you will see Xpath CSS Explorer, and this will only come once you will install that plugin. Click here, and then by default, whenever you will click on any element, it will give you the Xpath CSS and Xpath. So now this CSS, it is giving this CSS, right? So what I'll do, I will simply click here. It will be copied. Go here and see. So you can see this CSS selector is too long, right? If I will use the generated CSS from that plugin, driver.find element by.css selector, and then paste it, .click, right? You can see now it is too small, right? Instead of calculating these all things, it is now calculating this thing. Let's see whether it is working or not. Yeah, you can see now it clicked on the first link, right? So it is working fine. Similarly, I'll go and see the XPath. So here XPath saying this one. Okay, I'll copy it, and then I'll show you how XPath is this, right? This one is the XPath, and the Chrome browser was giving this XPath. So instead of using this, the generated XPath looks good. So you can use this one. So I am explaining this because these all are the tools that we are using while automating the website, right? So you have to be aware of these things. that how you can basically work on that these things.